here. It's been a fun, last 8 months. Just excited to be, the leader of this program and these women. It's been great so far. So yeah, just thanks for being here.
Just talk about what this offseason has been like for you. Obviously, you guys kicked off the season last week with 2 tough matches, Michigan State and Dayton. Just talk about what this offseason has been like for you and what have you seen from this team so far?
Yeah, we talk a lot about growth, and I think every day we're just looking for our players just to give their best. And I think road, when you have a new program and a new team and you're trying to build a new culture, I think road wins become even tougher, and I think that's what we kind of saw. I'll be honest, I thought our kids worked extremely hard against Michigan State. You're playing your first game against the number 17 team ranked in the nation, right? It's going to be hard at their place. Their fan base is incredible. We knew that was going to be such a huge challenge for us, but we fought. I think to only allow a team that scored 47 goals last season, only one, I was proud of our team, and I think it was a little bit disappointing, how we performed on Sunday. I thought we were easily the best team against Dayton. But obviously the scoreboard didn't show that. I think that game in general came down to individual errors that happened, and we just didn't bounce back, But I think what we showed in the second half, we want to add and build from that, because I thought what we did in the second half was superior to them, and we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, unfortunately.
Who should I be looking for on this team? If I'm just coming to a game, who stands out? Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure they all stand out.
Anna Rexford, number 1. She's our goalkeeper. She was unbelievable. I think she had 5 or 6 goal-saving saves, I would say, against Michigan State. Just kept us in the game. So she's one to definitely watch. Ashley Barron, our center back. I think she attested to this. I think she played her worst game of her career against Dayton. So I don't think that's ever going to happen again. So definitely keep her, your eyes on her. Tenny, our forward transfer from Texas. I think she brings an excitement to the game. She's extremely athletic, one that likes to get in behind and create chaos inside the box. So she's definitely one to keep an eye on. But I think, like you said, overall, I think our team, we're going to need, we have 36 kids on our roster, which is typically a little bit larger than what you have in a team. But I think you have 36 kids to keep an eye on.
You mentioned Ashley. How important is her presence there on the back line? Obviously a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time first team all-conference selection. Just talk about her presence there on the defensive line. How important is she to this team?
Utterly important. She's the backbone to our program and what we're trying to build moving forward. So when she has an off game, as you saw, it impacts the team, right? When your best player isn't on, it can really impact the team. So I wish we would have had maybe a little bit more of a rally behind her that game, because everyone's going to have their off days, right? And we actually had a meeting with our forwards, some of our attacking players this morning with our midfielders and our forwards, and it was like, we defended so hard and so well against Michigan State. How do we alleviate pressure for our back line now against Dayton? And part of that would have been, that opening moment. I think it was 5 minutes in, Tenny had a wide open shot from 12 yards out and missed high. And that right away, right, if she scores that goal, that whole game is different. And that alleviates pressure from us. So we talked about that a little bit. It has to be a give and take, right? We're a team, but our units have to, do a little bit better job up top to perform.
And you mentioned Tenny as well. You also have transfers, Fran, Laura, Claire, Sydney. Just talk about this transfer class. Obviously 5 important players there that have all been starting the first 2 games. Just talk about that transfer class a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of it came from experience. We knew that we were going to need some experience moving into the Big 12. Tenny obviously playing in the Big 12 already. She already had that. Sid comes from a great program as well with Cornell. So that was we knew that for us, it came to the experience bit to it, right? I think for the 5 of them, it's been a pretty seamless transition, and I think that bodes to the rest of the team bringing them in and saying, hey, these players are here, they're part of our program now, and let's do the best we can with it. So yeah, I think they've been great. And I think it's been a lot of buy-in from the former players and now these new players coming in to make a team foundation.
Barron played all 90 minutes against Michigan State. Is that going to be the standard, or?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. We took her out the last 10 minutes of Dayton because I think she was done. I think she was done. But, she has the athleticism to play 90. She has the fitness to play 90. She has the IQ to play 90 minutes. So our goal is that we should be seeing a lot of her this season.
The transition to the Big 12 has happened. We see the branding all over campus. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you had the honor of playing the first home game here at UC as a Big 12 school. Is that lost on you, or is that something that you look forward to kind of carrying that flag for the university and the athletic department?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm very much minded where it's one day at a time, but obviously you see that game on the schedule and you think, wow, like this is it. We're going to start it off, you know? And I think our girls have even murmured about that a little bit too. So it is special, right? This jump into the Big 12 for our athletic department as a whole is huge. And I know I wasn't here for all of the, you know, the background of it and the hard work that's gone in to get all of our programs to this level now. But I'm so blessed to be a part of it now. And I know our girls are feeling that same way. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be, hopefully we make a statement that day. And hopefully we can kind of lead the charge for everybody else.
It's obviously, and you don't have to be inside the program to know that it's a different level when you jump into the Big 12. It's going to take a transition, it's going to take time, but can you put an idea on what success would be year one as a soccer program in the Big 12 as your team goes up in level of competition this year?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and we've said this to the players too. Like and I've done this before with other programs. You know, I think sometimes when you get locked in on results only, I think you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. I'm really big about the process of everything and how we're going to grow things. So my goal this year was, can we be in the top 10? Can we be in the top 10 this year for the Big 12 and make the tournament? I think if we do that, then that sets us up for the next year and the next year and the next year. But we talk a lot in our program about every day. So every day for training, every day in games, how are we going to give our best in every single moment and put the best performance that we can out there?
As you kick off the first home match of the season on Thursday, it's one that starts a 3-game homestand there. Just talk about how important it is and what's your message to get to the Bearcats fans to come out and support this program?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I think anytime you can get a home field advantage and that comes with the, you know, a loud crowd supporting you, backing you, you know, I'll be honest, the reason why I wanted to change our benches on the opposite side is because I want our fans to give us more support and more positivity. But it's huge, you know, road games are tough, like they're hard. You're out of a different element, there's adversity that's gonna come with that. So for us being back at home, being able to, the girls to be able to sleep in their own beds pregame, all of that kind of stuff, I think they are just excited for it, you know. I've never had my first, you know, fall home game, so I'm geeked for it as well. I'm excited for it, just to have a little bit more like, hey, this is Gettler Stadium, this is what it's like to play here, come and challenge us.
There's some decent talent locally, and you have a few on your roster. Is that something you'll try to do recruiting-wise, circle the wagons around the interstate? And
yeah, 100%. 100%. I think the talent, I think number one, and I said this in my interview process, I thought that Ohio is like a soccer, like it's a soccer nation, a soccer state. You know, people love soccer here. The talent is really, really strong here as well. I personally think the talent in the Midwest is one of the best across the nation. Being a part of other programs that, you know, I worked at Grand Valley State in Michigan, that was in the Midwest. I worked at Iowa, Midwest, right? So I think the talent is really, really strong here. Our goal is to go after the best Ohio players and keep them home. And can we win some of those battles against Ohio State, Xavier, right? Local schools that that have a lot of talent. But instead of them going there, they're gonna come be a Bearcat.
You mentioned like progress earlier, and I'm sure record-wise you're obviously not where you want to be, but like just big picture, like how do you feel about the team's performance so far? Are you happy where you are right now? Like it's your first year, are you like happy where the team's like mindset is right now?
I say this to them all the time. I'm always gonna ask for more. So even if I am at a level of like being happy, I'm still gonna ask them for more, because I think that goes into how we're wired as a staff, right? We want growth all the time. So I would say I'm okay with how we started. Obviously the results are, like you said, not what we wanted them to be. But again, I thought our players fought extremely hard against, you know, number 17 team in the nation right now and the Big Ten champs. So I was happy with what we did there in that game and the performance that we had. I was a little bit disappointed with how we performed the first half at Dayton, you know, but it's gonna take time. You know, I think success takes time. It's not gonna happen overnight. We preach that to our players all the time, that hey, we still believe in you, you still believe in us, and let's just keep rolling.
Anybody have anything else?
I have a question. Coach, can you compare getting started for this season to your
Yeah, God, it's going backwards there. It's just different, you know, and I think like the comparison would be in the fact that it's new, right? And you look at little pieces every day that you're trying to, like, what's working and what's not working. And that's something I did at UAB, and that's something that I'm looking at here. And, but I think it's, you know, I don't like to compare the two because I think they're totally different programs, right? So I think it's hard to compare the two in a sense of where we started and now where we're starting here. You know, I think I try to look at our players as individuals, and how do we get the best of the individuals for our program each and every day, and how are they gonna complement each other, how are they gonna complement what we're trying to do. So that part I wouldn't say has changed a lot, but the level is totally different. You know, this is a higher level. It's a higher level of athlete, it's a higher level of IQ here. So I think overall it's the same in the sense of it's year one at different programs, but it's different in every other category.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.